All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Sexy Freedom Media podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards. And today I have a very special guest, Miranda Whirlwind Soldier. Welcome.
Hi. Hi.
So tell everybody who you are, Miranda.
Oh, okay. So my name is Miranda Whirlwind Soldier. I recently got married. Uh, and so Whirlwind Soldier is my married name. And I am super proud of that. I am from Rock Point, Arizona. And if you don't know where that's at, it's the upper corner of Arizona. It's off the Navajo reservation. So I'm a proud member of the Navajo tribe. I have a huge family. I have a blended family. So my husband has two kids on his side, and I have three, and we have a dog. But the older kids that we have, they're all out of the house. I only have my two younger ones, and I was just telling Helen that school is back in session, so it's just kind of been hectic the past couple of days, but we're going to get it down. So that is who I am. I currently live in Goodyear, Arizona, so I'm based out of my home here in Goodyear. So, and that's me. That's all me, Miranda.
Now you currently, if now correct me if I'm wrong, because I watch you on social media, and we've also met in person. We met through our good friend Cass Stratter, and the cool thing that I was really drawn to you more on getting you on this podcast was I saw what you were doing on your post, and you're an entrepreneur. Not only that, but you're doing big things for your community, and you also have your own business, or you're working with other people with a business, and that business sounds very enriching. Tell us more about that.
Yes, I'm super excited about my business. Just to kind of give you an idea, so this is, I'm not really sure if you can see it, but we'll also link it in my bio. Um, I joined this team. It's called Dreamcatcher Financial Strategies Team. And we are a group of individuals, indigenous people. That's what we're comprised of. So we are licensed agents. Licensed agents meaning anything to do with financial products. We go from small children's savings all the way up to IRAs, Roth IRAs, and even supplemental retirement programs that we help with our clients. So right now we're growing, and I've been in this business for a while, and I actually left my corporate world job. I was an assistant branch manager at a local bank here in Goodyear, and once I found the because a lot of what we do with our businesses, we help clients. We help the indigenous people, our people. I went back to my hometown and helped a couple of family members on the importance of money handling. Um, Growing up, I grew up with really no money, and I was raised by a single mom. God bless my mom. She's been gone for 2 years, so been having a hard time with that. But through that, I wanted something different for my family, for my kids, and this was a perfect opportunity for me. So that is what we do. We sit down with families, we sit down with clients, and go over their financials and really putting it on paper where their money is coming from and where they're using it at. Or maybe they might have debt, they might have a savings plan, but we offer alternative options for them for their money to grow rather than it sitting in a bank account. So that is what we do day in, day out. And we do also reach out to organizations and businesses within our communities, and our main mission is to educate our people on financial literacy, how to handle money. You have to have a good relationship with money, and Helen, like I've seen your stuff, and that's really how we met through Cast. And I love that about my job because that's my passion, and I chose this pathway and left my corporate job because we all know how corporate jobs, you have to be on a clock, you clock in. If you ask for time off, it's just a request. And so I wanted to leave all of that, and this opportunity allows for me to spend more time drop my kids off at school and not have to worry about going back to work right after to clock in. Gives me a chance to give back to my community. Um, so throughout my background, my career, I was also in the education field. I was an advisement. I was an advisor. So I sat down with students and made a plan of what classes to take in order to speak to what degree that they wanted um, to
Hmm.
get. So people meeting with people, especially with our own people, that's always been my passion. And this is a different spectrum. So it fits well with me. And that's what I've been doing. I am leading a team of my own and trying to get other people to jump on board with me so we call ourselves the Crusaders because we want to crusade throughout Indigenous communities all over the country. And we also have a team in Canada is doing the same thing there too. So that is what I do now, and I'm super proud and super excited to see where I end up with that. Yeah.
Wow, Miranda, that is amazing. First of all, my condolences on your mother. I know what it's like to lose somebody very close that we love. And I know how, um, second of all, how valuable the relationship with money is. And that's why I wanted to bring you on here because have an indigenous um, ethnic background myself and, coming kind of from a similar background with, not knowing how to have a relationship with money, or financial literacy, or what credit was, what debt was. I mean, really, what is debt? I didn't know that when I was a kid. I heard the term thrown around loosely. And surprisingly, as adults, you would think that so many adults have it together. When you're a kid, you're like, once I'm an adult, I'm going to have it together. But then you realize that wiring in your brain, that habitual habits that you have with money, basically just carry on with you throughout life unless you change it. So I think that's really, really valuable of what you're doing and where you found your passion because everybody can have businesses, everybody can have all these passions, but really the root of helping those flourish and expand all these things we want to do or have freedom to take our kids to school or have freedom to spend time with the people we love comes down to our financial status, really, like where we're at with our money. Can we afford this? Can we do that? So I think I commend you highly for taking this role on and going out there and teaching people how to work their money. So one of the questions I have for you is, let's talk about the relationship with money. How, you know, just to give a few things on what you do when you sit down with people and you teach them how their relationship is with money. What is one of the things that you ask them? Like, do you say, how is your relationship with money, or is there specific questions you ask to kind of get to the root of it?
Well, one of the things that we do is, and it depends on the client's needs. We go over what their goals are. Um, Say I have a client that is young, that just started
Mhm.
working, and wanted to know more about how he could save money or where he could save money. I just had a client, actually my nephew, he's only 16 and he's working at a car wash. So we went up to visit him, and he was telling us that he had all this money saved in his bank account. And having my background in the banking industry, I also do know that the interest rate on the bank accounts are very not even 1%
Mm.
across the board. So I already knew that. And I sat down with him and looked at a way to invest his money in products that we have. And I was able to help him illustrate and do some number crunches for him. And I got him into a plan that where it's going to give him 7.1% of a return for his money that he has invested, that he's saved. So with that plan, it's good for him. Um, Other clients may have, I'm really looking at to see, I'm trying to lower my debt. So what we do with each family is we sit down and do what is called we like to say financial needs analysis. Not everybody knows what that means. So in other words, let's just take a look at to see what you have. You know, I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to ask you questions. Um, you know, we discuss income. We discuss any type of benefits that they currently have, maybe with their job, or even on the side if they have any type of life insurance or any type of investment stocks. So we discuss all of that and then kind of give them a clear picture of what they have. And then we move into debt. We look at the debt. What kind of debt do you have? Like, don't be shy. I'm your financial person, so you can let me know what is going on because you never know. I might be able to help you with that. Which, by the way, we do work with a third party directly that helps with debt consolidation and elimination. So we take a look at that. We list everything down on paper. There's no pullback. There's no shyness about it. We let them know, you know, this is all for you to make sure you understand where your money's going. Maybe you're putting money into a your credit card, and credit card's a whole nother issue because usually their interest rates are high, very high. So maybe what they're paying is just the minimum, but it's not lowering their balance. So we talk about that and we talk about their monthly expenses. And there are cases where some clients don't typically, they've never seen it on paper. So when you ask them, okay, how much do you pay on groceries? How much do you pay on, let's say, going out? Do you dine out frequently? Yes. Okay, how much do you pay? So we go down to the specifics. I pay at least 200 a week of going out to eat or 200 a month, whatever it may be. So then when they actually say it, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money that I'm putting on going out to eat or going out to get coffee. You know, because Starbucks is pretty expensive. So when we're doing that, as they're talking about it, they kind of get an image like, okay, wow, I really didn't know that that's how much I was paying. You know, no wonder. And so we kind of give them that little nudge. Okay, well, maybe if you scale back on this part, you'll be able to pay this off. So we kind of help them through step by step what they can do. And again, at the end of the day, it's just a recommendation. So we don't charge our clients. I don't charge a client to sit down with them to go over the financials. But when it comes time to sell, let's say if they wanted to invest in a certain product, that's when they'll be investing into that product. But when we do this, this exercise, this piece of step that we go through our business with, which is called the F&A. And I don't want to say F&A because usually that scares people away. So it's like, well, let's just see where you are. And, you know, if you introduce it that way, they're more comfortable talking about it. So we put it all on paper, and I want to say that's the first step, like when they see it, like, wow, I didn't know that's how much I was in debt for. Like, okay. And then we talk about different products and referral programs that we can help them with. So that is typically the first step that we go. And that in itself is an eye opener to most clients. Some clients who are organized and they have their stuff together already. Yeah, I already kind of know that, but I want to know more about what I can invest, or I still need life insurance, so I don't have enough. Can you show me something that I can afford based on what their discretionary incomes are? So it's all puzzle pieces. But I think the first step to recognizing where your money's going, where it's coming from, and what kind of retirement do you have? Because I'm going to be 40 this year. I'm going to be 40 on the 26th, and
woo!
woo!
Of this month?
Of this month, yes.
Oh my goodness! Welcome to the 40s, girl.
So being at this age, you know, retirement is heavily on my mind. And that's kind of why I took this turn. It's like, man, I need to make sure I'm secured by the time I decide to retire. And I want to retire early. So, and I know in this business, I can definitely definitely make that a possible goal for myself. So I don't know if that answered
Absolutely.
your question, Helen, but
No, that's
that's what I
perfect.
do.
I love that you mentioned, first of all, like the age, because I mean, I'm 40 and I remember getting my money together a few years, I want to say like, it's about 10 years ago. And I did exactly what you said. Like you sit down and you literally write it all out and you have a visual of what you're looking at. And I'll never forget the most simplest money term or money mindset term in my mind was you're either the investor or the consumer. And I was like, I want to be an investor. And that not only meant just investing in, uh, Roths or stocks or anything like that, but just investing in myself. And by investing in myself, that meant self-improvement, well-being, wellness, health, wealth. That's all those types of investments, which transfers into, things like what you're doing, putting your money in so that way the return on investment can come back bigger. And I really think that's important that you're teaching people the financial literacy of what these terms mean. And my son, I taught him when he was really young. I took him to a um, Dave Ramsey workshop, and I wanted him to learn the terms because I wanted him to be financially smart at a very young age. That way it was already programmed in him to when he got older, he already had a savings built up. And same with my sister. My sister's, I want to say she's 38, and her husband are already retired about a year ago. And I couldn't believe it. Now they have the retirement jobs, and her retirement job is she's a pilot. She's a pilot instructor. And she did the exact same thing. She got smart with her money and invested and became an investor more than a consumer. And I think that's exactly what you're helping people with, is how to change their their money habits, but also change their mindsets into growth instead of like, lack thereof.
Most definitely, everything that you just said is is what I would like for every individual, especially the young people. The young people, we got to focus on them because when I don't like, for example, for my kids, my son just turned 20, and the same thing. I got into this business at the time that he already had a job, but I already knew a little bit about saving money, and I made sure that he understood that. Like, don't go wasting money on whatever, spend less on dining out. You can still treat yourself, but it's a treat. Don't indulge. And
Yep.
that's one of the things that I made sure he understood. And now he's out on his own. Helen, my oldest moved out. So the other day he
Yeah.
comes in and he's just like, Mom, this is weird. Like, I know it's weird.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, even for him, he's putting his money away, and he got into a car accident, I want to say back in February, and he lost his car. His car got totaled. So after that, we ended up going through court, which is all settled now, so I'm okay to talk about it. But he ended up getting a settlement, and he told me, Mom, I don't want to go back and get another car because I don't want to make payments on it.
Yes.
Like, well, okay. So he saved up enough money. He was using our car, to go do errands and things like that. But already knew that he didn't want a payment. So he saved his money up, and he ended up still going to the dealership, but he paid off most of the car. So he only had maybe a couple thousand that he needed to pay off. And now he just updated me, said, I'm going to make my last payment. So I'm done with that. And it's a good car. And I'm like,
Woo!
so that was a huge success for me. Like, I'm doing something right by my kids.
Mhm.
So he doesn't have a car payment. He has insurance. He saves his money, and he was telling me that he's very frugal and he loves thrift stores. So he goes on the days that there's like 50% off. He kind of has uh, I don't want to say hippie, but kind of like he thinks outside the box. So
Yes.
he's got his own little thing going, and he's actually saving his money. I got him signed up to with one of the products that I learned about. So he's putting his money away. He's going to be set, and I'm so super proud of him. My daughter's coming up next, and it's going to be the same thing with her. And so that, I think for me, that right there is the most important. And I'm trying to get to all the my younger cousins, my babies that are just now, getting into high school, wanting to go to college, not college, but work, who are going to put in some work, and just to let them know, hey, the world's a different place now, and you have the option to either save your money or you're just going to lose it. Like, which one is it going to be? So just having those conversations with them, that is why I'm in this business, and I'm super proud. I'm so thankful that you have invited me, and because I want to change the world. I starting with my family, and I feel like I've already done been doing that with my little family, and I just want to
Yes.
expand that to the rest of the people, especially in our communities, because the indigenous people, we've come a long way, and money, paper money, is not
Hmm.
part of our society. So that was introduced to us. So that right there, we don't know how to handle it. It's a foreign concept. So, but now, the age that we're in, we have to learn how to have that relationship. We have to learn how to take care of it so it takes care of us, because every little thing, whether it be a pen, a phone, everything costs money. And one of the things that I always hear is like, well, money isn't everything. Well, it kind of is, because it takes care of us, whether it be through the light, through electricity, whether it be through our car, gas, it pays for everything. So we have to accept that it is everything. It's just how we handle it and how we treat it is a different subject. So
Wow.
yeah,
Well said. Well said. No, I love that because there you are going to get those rebuttals of, people who says, and that again, I really feel like that's a mindset. Those are mindsets that come from, you know, uh, um, I don't, so when somebody says, well, it's not everything, or, all these different beliefs they have, where is that stemming from? First of all, is it a fear that you really don't want to open up to learn about money because you're afraid of it somehow? Because I could tell you from my personal opinion, I was at the time when I first learned about it, I avoided it. I would say money's just how you just said. I would say money's not everything. There's so many things I can do in this world without it. Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of the freedom, the travels I've gotten going around the world. I mean, a lot investing in my business and being able to have a life without any boss all came from the change of the mindset, of my beliefs, of my habits, my relationship with money. So you are absolutely right.
definitely, definitely. And I think personally, I had to change that for myself too. Um, I was a single mom for quite a while right before I met Lewis, who is now my husband. I was a single mom, and I was struggling. And
Mhm.
had I had known how to save and how to prioritize, I mean, I'm so thankful that I'm here today, and I did what I could being a single mom with a single income. But thinking back of what I know now, I wish I could have handled it differently.
Mm.
Handled it differently had I didn't know anything about retirement. What is retirement? I don't care. That's something for older people. That's not me. And that's kind of the mindset that I had. And it was just so within my little scope here, that I was thinking, okay, I just need to pay this and pay this, but I wasn't thinking future. And that's the biggest difference that I had to the biggest difference that I had to go through, and that mindset within myself, like, no, there's more to it. So I may not be set today, but I'm definitely going to be set later for sure. Whatever I'm doing now is going to set me up for the future. So now I turn back this way to the younger people, like, don't do what I did. Like, start saving, start doing this. This is
Mhm.
retirement. And then explain it to them in a way that they understand it. Like, it's not just an old people thing. I know it sounds like an old people thing because that's what I used to think it was, but it's not, because one day you will look back because people are retiring early. Well, now the new retirement age is, they say, 72, but being an entrepreneur, being a business person, and having that mindset with money changes that. And just like you said, your sister and her husband who retired at 38, that is awesome, you know? So I try to I try to be very helpful, and some people are, you're right, they have that fear. They have that fear of money, and it's it's all about trying to change mindsets, and that's what we're doing. Our Dreamcatcher Financial Strategies team, that's what we do. We have weekly meetings and we invite people, and most of the time it's like, well, is this really real? Is this a scam? Is this, because it's like, because we're native and we're actually in a business mindset, it automatically equals a scam. Like, no, 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 no. You got it all wrong. Like, we're here to help our people, to explain, because the same options that the wealthy have, we have access to that too. We're the access into that world. So use us, talk to us, tell us, contact us, sit down with us, because we can help. We can help you strategize your money in a way that if you were to go to like those big name companies, they wouldn't even let you in unless you had a certain amount of money already saved up. But not with us. We're starting wherever you're at. We'll sit down with you and guide you through and help you through that. So, and yeah, so that's what I do, and it's something that I'm pretty passionate about.
I can tell, I want to just mention this. Money is a very emotional subject, and I get it. And because we're so attached to it, or attached to a mindset of it at a very young age, whether it's lack or abundance of it. And what you just mentioned, that how people think it's a scam, like, listen to Miranda's passion behind this podcast. She's, you're Miranda, you are, I can tell you're very passionate. For one, you have the experience of being in a place of, not having money, like you were mentioning, a single mom and with a single income and not knowing financial literacy, but you've grown, you have the experience from going, from that A to Z point, and you're turning back around and giving out a hand to help other people get to where you're at, or even beyond, with you. And that's so commendable. And so when there are people thinking this is a scam, well, if you think it's a scam, go research it. Okay. Like, do your homework, take responsibility, because it's nobody's responsibility except your own to find out who these companies are, what the background is, where they come from, and how they really can help you if they've helped others. Like, check the reviews. And, you know, I really hope some of our listeners, or maybe all of our listeners out there, will take a look at your links, and just to even inquire, just to ask you questions, reach out, ask Miranda questions. If that's okay, right? It's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm open. Definitely.
And you work with people online or just in person?
Both. With the age of where we're at with the internet, um, definitely Zoom, like how we're meeting right now. That's how we meet with everybody. Most of my clients I meet with on Zoom, but if I'm in Goodyear, so if I have clients here in town, I will meet with them in person. But most of the time it's Zoom. It's just a click of a button and we just talk. We just go through it, and there's no obligations. Just hear me out, let me just kind of give you what I know, and then you go from there. That is all we're asking. Yeah.
Love it. And what's the name of the business again?
It is called Dreamcatcher Financial Strategies.
Dreamcatcher. Everybody, dream
Financial.
catcher. That's a key word there, all right? You want your
Yes,
dreams to come true, go catch them. No,
definitely.
I love that, Miranda. So before we wrap this up, where can people find you? Where can they reach you? I'll also put links in the show notes, but just verbally where they can reach you at.
Yes, I am. I am on Facebook. It's under my name, Miranda Whirlwind Soldier. Um, Actually, you can also find me under Miranda Halkini. I'm trying to find a way to make sure that my last name matches. So I'm having difficulty with that. But Miranda Halkini or Miranda Whirlwind Soldier. My phone number is 602 466 4415. And you can also find me on Instagram, and you'll also find me on LinkedIn. I am also on TikTok. I have a few goofy videos on there, but aside from that, I'm pretty much assessed. You can contact me by email, by phone number, by Instagram, by Facebook. So I am pretty much everywhere. LinkedIn is really cool. For the longest time, I really thought LinkedIn was kind of boring, but it's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool, especially if you want to find like-minded business people. That's where you go. Right.
Awesome. Okay, she dropped her digits, y'all. She means business. All right. I don't even drop my digits. I love that. I love that. All right. Well, any last words? Go for it. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
I just really want to thank you, Helen, for inviting me. This is my first podcast. Woo! Many more to come.
Yes.
Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for just really just giving me this time to talk about my business and what I do. And I stand behind it 110%. I wouldn't be in this business if it didn't mean anything to me, or if it didn't mean that it was a scam. It's not. I'm here. I'm well educated. I mean well. I'm a mother, a wife. I'm a daughter, a sister. So I'm here to look out for everyone. So whoever needs my help, please contact me. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Miranda. And I can't wait to see you more in the communities and out there reaching the world. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Helen.